Good morning and welcome back to another video. A few videos back, I had talked about how Katarina and I are working on a podcast. And we are finally at a place where we can share a little bit of information. And the podcast is going to be called Cadence.
Discovering the art of every day.
One day at a time. That's not the full title, that's like sort of the tagline.
Yeah.
It's going to be called Cadence. But we are planning on launching the podcast on the 30th of March. And we're super excited about it. Now, there's a little U-Bahn train line here, so hopefully you can hear us well. We're both mic'd up today using the DJI mic, so let us know how you think that sounds, having each person have a mic rather than just one on top of the camera. But yeah, back to what I was saying before we shared more information about what the podcast is going to be about and how it can be helpful to you and where you can find it and all that good stuff. This month is EBOP here in Berlin, which stands for European Month of Photography. It is an organization that curates a lot of different photographer artists and showcases their work from Germany and all throughout Europe and even across the world. So this is the 10th year and they're doing their 10th anniversary exhibition and it is called Touch. Bringing together 40 different types of artists, and it is going to be showcasing a really interesting building. So we're going to head there now and then take a look at the exhibit, and then we'll sit down and quickly talk about the podcast a little more. So let's go. So what a cool exhibition. It was in an amazing space, as you saw from the B-roll, and it was really neat how they utilized that space. And Kat found something super interesting about it.
Yeah, I was overhearing a conversation and it was, someone was saying it's like an old women's penitentiary or something.
Yeah. And I don't know if you could tell from the B-roll shots, but you could tell from some of the rooms, they were really small. And I think I got a shot where you could see the bars on the windows. And that's actually so neat about Berlin. And we're going a little off topic here, but they're always using these old spaces and then turn them into something new or cool or interesting. But that's not what we're here to talk about today for this video. That was just something that was happening in Berlin, and I thought it would be a great way to share about the podcast, which we're going to dive a little bit deeper into, like I promised. Now, we have told you that we're calling it Cadence, and it's essentially a creative lifestyle podcast where we draw from some of our personal life experiences and work experiences to help people get the most out of every single day life, discovering every single day life, the art of discovering everyday life. And I'm going to be sharing my experiences working with clients, creating photography and cinematography, and what it's like to co-found a small creative agency, but also just share things that have inspired me in life and what that creative process is like, because sometimes it can get really, really messy and sometimes it can flow, and there's a lot that you can dive into deeper than just a 10-minute YouTube video.
Yeah, and my experience, I guess, is a little like sort of same field, but a little different. I've worked in big agencies, small agencies, both in Canada and Germany, and it's like worked with big clients, and like there's so many different things that I've experienced in my work and in life that I think can kind of contribute to that topic of how to live your most creative life.
Yeah, and not just creative life, but like it's just like an inspired life in general, and the thought process that goes into that. Now, if you're new to the channel, you might not know, but Katerina is my wife. I've talked about that before. And she is a creative professional working, as she mentioned, in large agencies. And she has a lot of insight with a lot of schooling. I'm the one that didn't go to school. I started this, I'm self-taught, whereas you're more self-taught, but like book taught as well. And there's a lot of insight there, especially someone who has kind of is working in this European market, and I'm coming from the North American market. So there's a lot of clashing ideas that you and I have, but also a lot of ideas that really marry well together that can be useful for someone out there. But we are launching on March 30th, and a little story about that. It's just it's a day we just randomly picked, but it sort of means something because for us, it is our birthdays in March. And so if you've been following again with us on the channel for a while, you'll know that we're only 8 days apart. 8 days, sorry. We're not 8 days apart. Our birth dates are 8 days apart. And I had proposed to Kat way back in the day, 8 days before my birthday. And so we're launching the podcast 8 days after her birthday. Just kind of like a little creative play on what we're doing. It really means not that much because we are going to be doing it weekly. We're going to try to launch every single Thursday, starting on March 30th. And we're going to go through lots of different topics, as we mentioned, creative process, how to get the most out of your life, how to land jobs, how to find cool places to travel, just everything that we would like to share and aren't able to through a short form video. And what's interesting is like YouTube videos that are 10 minutes are like long
form these days,
yeah, long form these days, but podcasts are still so popular. Anyway, that's a whole other topic that we can talk about. Short form content, long form content, what works, what doesn't, what you like to eat, what you don't like to eat, where you should travel, where you shouldn't travel, all those topics. But yeah, rambling on now. This outro is supposed to be way shorter than it was, but that's what the podcast is for, to be able to really dive deep into topics that matter to us, inspire us, and hopefully will inspire you or matter to you. So leave a comment below on some of the topics you would like us to dive into, whether it's about my field of work in creativity, in producing or directing, photography, cinematography, or anything maybe in the marketing field, how to execute a campaign, how to strategize a campaign, but also life stuff too. Traveling questions, food questions, all that good stuff. We would like to dive into all of it. And we hope you support us. The last major thing is we will probably make another video when we're ready to launch to let you know where you can find the podcast. We're thinking about starting a separate channel for it, and then where it's going to be launched on all the different podcast channels and all that good stuff. So thank you again for watching today's video. We hope that you're excited like we are about this podcast. We hope you enjoyed that little sequence from EMOP and all the photography that was going on there. And we'll see you again soon in the next few days for the next video. So as always, live passionately and stay inspired. Bye.